The 16-year-old daughter you pray could never get involved with a 29-year-old married martial arts instructor.
The disappearance of 16-year-old Tera Smith has California cops scrambling for clues. But her parents tell Pat Lalama police are overlooking the biggest clue of all.
On August 15, 1998, in Redding, California, Tera Lynn Smith, a vibrant 16-year-old, laced up her running shoes for her usual morning jog. Known for her infectious laugh and passion for track, Tera was a junior at Redding High School dreaming of a college scholarship. Her close-knit family parents, Terry and Marilyn, and younger sister Sierra, adored her determination. That Saturday, Tera left home at 6 a.m., heading toward the familiar trails of Shasta Park. By 8 a.m., she hadn't returned, sparking panic in the quiet suburban neighborhood. Tera's routine was predictable. Every morning she ran a 5-mile loop through Shasta Park, a lush forested area popular with joggers. Her bright red tank top and black shorts made her a familiar sight. On August 15th, the summer heat was already climbing and the park's trails were unusually quiet. Tera's mother, Marilyn, expected her back by 7:30 a.m. for breakfast. When she didn't appear, Marilyn called Tera's friends, hoping it was a teenage oversight. No one had seen her. Dread began to settle in. Marilyn contacted the Redding Police Department at 8:15 a.m. Officer Daniel Harper arrived within the hour, noting the family's distress. Tera's father, Terry, a mechanic, paced the living room, clutching Tera's favorite running medal. Sierra, only 12, sat silently, her eyes wide with fear. The officer asked about Tera's habits, learning she always carried a water bottle and her house key. The absence of these items on her usual route suggested something was wrong. Harper promised a swift response, but the family felt the weight of uncertainty. The Smiths' neighborhood, a tight-knit community of modest homes, buzzed with concern. Neighbors gathered outside, whispering about Tera's disappearance. Many knew her from school events or her part-time job at the local bakery. "She's the sweetest girl," said Mrs. Larson, a neighbor who often waved to Tera during her runs. The community's shock was palpable, as Redding was considered safe with low crime rates. Yet the lack of security cameras in Shasta Park raised immediate concerns about tracking Tera's movements. Police launched an initial search by 9:00 a.m., focusing on Shasta Park's trails. Volunteers, including Tera's track teammates, combed the area calling her name. The park's dense trees and winding paths made the search daunting. A jogger reported seeing Tera near the park's east entrance around 6:30 a.m., but no one saw her after that. Her water bottle, found discarded near a trailhead, sent a chill through the searchers. The bright blue bottle, scuffed and empty, was the first tangible clue. Tera's personality shone through in the stories shared by those who knew her. She was disciplined, waking early to train, and compassionate, often helping Sierra with homework. Her dream was to compete nationally, inspired by her coach's tales of Olympic runners. Her absence felt like a tear in the community's fabric. At a local church, friends organized a prayer vigil that evening, drawing dozens. Marilyn's voice broke as she spoke, "Tera's our light. Please bring her home." The crowd's shared grief underscored the urgency. The police expanded their efforts by noon, bringing in K9 units. The dogs picked up Tera's scent near the water bottle, but lost it at a parking lot nearby. This suggested she may have entered a vehicle, a thought that horrified Terry. Redding's small size meant few leads. The park had no surveillance, and nearby roads were sparsely traveled. Officer Harper noted the challenge: "We're working blind without cameras." The family clung to hope, but the lack of immediate answers gnawed at them. As the day wore on, media outlets picked up the story. Local news stations broadcast Tera's photo, a smiling girl with auburn hair and green eyes. Her family offered a $10,000 reward for information funded by community donations. The story gained traction with comparisons to other missing joggers, though none as young as Tera. The community's response was swift, with flyers posted across Redding. Yet the absence of witnesses left investigators grasping at straws, and the day ended without Tera. The Smiths spent a sleepless night haunted by what-ifs. Marilyn recalled Tera's excitement about an upcoming track meet, her voice full of plans. Terry blamed himself for not driving her to the park. Sierra, usually talkative, withdrew, clutching Tera's running shoes. The community's support was a lifeline, but the lack of progress fueled fear. Redding, a place where kids roamed freely now, felt shadowed by an unseen threat. The search for Tera was only beginning. Tera's disappearance exposed vulnerabilities in Redding's safety measures. Shasta Park, while scenic, lacked basic surveillance, a fact criticized by residents. Schools, including Tera's, had minimal security protocols for students traveling to and from campus. These systemic gaps frustrated early efforts as police relied on limited physical evidence. The community demanded answers, but the trail seemed to grow colder with each passing hour. Tera's absence was a wound, and the town rallied to heal it. By evening, the police set up a tip line urging anyone with information to call. Volunteers distributed flyers with Tera's description, 5'5", 120 pounds, last seen in a red tank top and black shorts. The image of her smiling at a track meet became a haunting reminder. The family's pastor, Reverend Michaels, spoke at the vigil. "Tera is our daughter, our sister. We won't stop until she's found." The words echoed, but the empty trails offered no answers. The first 24 hours were critical, yet yielded little. The water bottle was sent for forensic analysis, but results would take days. Police interviewed joggers and park staff, but no one recalled anything unusual. The community's hope began to waver, though determination held firm. Tera's teammates vowed to run in her honor at the next meet, a small act of defiance against the unknown. The Smiths, exhausted but resolute, prepared for the days ahead, praying for a miracle. Volunteers faced challenges. Shasta Park's dense underbrush hid potential evidence, and recent rains made trails muddy. The heat, peaking at 95 degrees, exhausted searchers. Some volunteers, like Tera's coach, Mr. Daniels, pushed through, driven by guilt. "I should have trained her in a group," he said. Others, like Mrs. Larson, organized food and water for searchers, fostering unity. The community's spirit was a beacon, but the lack of concrete leads frustrated everyone, especially the police. National outlets picked up Tera's story, comparing it to other abductions. A local radio station broadcast hourly updates, urging tips. The Smiths appeared on TV, Marilyn pleading, "Tera, if you're out there, we love you." The exposure brought hundreds of calls to the tip line, though most were unhelpful. One caller mentioned a creepy guy near the park, but the description was vague. Sorting through misinformation became a hurdle for Nguyen's team. A breakthrough came on day 3. A hiker found Tera's house key near a remote trail 200 yards from her water bottle. The key, attached to a red lanyard, was undamaged, suggesting it was dropped recently. Forensics rushed to analyze it for prints or DNA. The discovery shifted focus to the park's outer edges where fewer people ventured. Nguyen theorized Tera was taken quickly, possibly by someone familiar with the area. The SUV sighting gained weight as a clue. The community's emotional toll was heavy. Vigils grew nightly, with candles lining the park's entrance. Tera's teammates wore red ribbons, her favorite color at school. Parents kept children indoors, fearing a predator. The Smiths barely slept, sustained by coffee and hope. Terry's anger surfaced. How does a girl vanish in broad daylight? Marilyn clung to faith, praying with Sierra. The town's unity was a double-edged sword, supportive, yet a constant reminder of Tera's absence. Police interviewed Tera's circle friends, teachers, and neighbors. Her best friend Emily mentioned Tera's excitement about a karate class she'd started at a local dojo. The instructor, James Carter, a 35-year-old former athlete, was well-liked but private. Emily recalled Tera saying Carter was intense but kind. Nguyen flagged Carter for a routine interview, though no evidence linked him yet. The focus remained on physical evidence with the SUV as the primary lead. Flyers reached Sacramento 150 miles south. The FBI joined offering forensic expertise. A tip suggested a dark SUV was seen in Anderson, a neighboring town, but it led nowhere. Frustration mounted as leads fizzled. Nguyen's team worked 18-hour days, driven by Tera's smiling photo on their desks. "She's someone's daughter," Nguyen said. "We can't stop." The community echoed this, refusing to let Tera fade into obscurity. By day 5, exhaustion set in. Volunteers dwindled, though core groups persisted. The Smiths organized a community walk, drawing 500 people. Sierra's drawings pinned to trees tugged at hearts. A local business donated $5,000 to the reward fund, now $15,000. Media coverage intensified scrutiny on Redding's safety protocols, with editorials demanding park cameras. The pressure weighed on police, who faced criticism for slow progress. Nguyen remained focused, knowing time was critical. The emotional strain on the Smiths was relentless. Marilyn stopped working, unable to focus. Terry took leave, haunted by the park's proximity to their home. Sierra's school counselor reported her withdrawing, refusing to talk about Tera. Friends brought meals, but the family's grief was private. At a vigil, Marilyn whispered, "I feel her out there." The community's hope flickered, but the lack of answers loomed large, pushing the search into a new phase. The investigation into Tera Lynn Smith's disappearance shifted gears by August 20, 1998. Detective Sarah Nguyen's team, now bolstered by FBI agents, focused on forensic evidence and witness accounts. The water bottle and house key, both found in Shasta Park, were critical. Forensic analysis revealed partial fingerprints on the bottle, but no match in the database. The key yielded no prints, frustrating hopes. Nguyen suspected the items were deliberately placed, suggesting a calculated act. The dark SUV remained the linchpin, but its owner was elusive. Police canvassed Shasta Park's regulars, joggers, dog walkers, and park staff. A groundskeeper recalled a dark blue SUV parked irregularly near the east entrance on August 15th, but couldn't describe the driver. Surveillance from a nearby gas station showed a similar vehicle at 6:50 a.m., its license plate obscured. The grainy footage revealed a male figure, medium build, wearing a cap. Nguyen's team cross-referenced vehicle registrations, narrowing it to 47 dark SUVs in Redding. Each owner was interviewed, but none panned out. James Carter, Tera's karate instructor, emerged as a person of interest. At 35, Carter had a clean record, but a reserved demeanor. During his interview, he confirmed Tera attended his class twice weekly. She was eager to learn, he said, but his alibi, teaching a class at 6:00 a.m., was shaky, with no students confirming his presence. Nguyen noted his calm, almost rehearsed responses. Without hard evidence, Carter wasn't detained, but his dojo became a focal point for investigators. On August 22nd, a devastating discovery shook the case. A hiker found Tera's red tank top torn and stained in a ravine 3 miles from the park. The location, accessible only by a dirt road, suggested a vehicle was involved. Forensic teams scoured the site, finding tire tracks matching a mid-size SUV. The tank top had traces of blood later confirmed as Tera's and an unknown male's DNA. The find shifted the case from missing person to potential homicide, crushing the Smiths. Marilyn collapsed upon hearing the news, hospitalized for exhaustion. Terry's anger boiled over, demanding, "Why haven't you found her at a police briefing?" Sierra stopped speaking entirely, clutching Tera's track medals. The community reeled, with vigils now mourning as much as hoping. Reverend Michaels led a service saying, "Tera's spirit unites us." The blood evidence sparked fear of a predator, prompting parents to escort children everywhere. Redding's innocence seemed shattered. Nguyen's team worked tirelessly, analyzing the DNA against local records. The unknown male profile didn't match Carter or any known offender, deepening the mystery. The tire tracks, however, were a breakthrough, narrowing the vehicle to a 1995-1997 Ford Explorer. Police issued a public alert for the SUV, triggering dozens of tips. One caller reported seeing a similar vehicle near Carter's dojo days before Tera vanished. Nguyen ordered surveillance on Carter, hoping for a misstep. The investigation faced hurdles. Redding's limited forensic resources slowed DNA processing, and the FBI's involvement added bureaucracy. Media pressure grew with outlets questioning police competence. A local paper ran a headline, "Where is Tera?" Nguyen defended her team, stating, "We're following every lead." Community frustration boiled over at a town hall where residents demanded park cameras and better policing. The Smiths, too drained to attend, sent a statement pleading for answers. Carter's background raised red flags. A former military man, he moved to Redding in 1996, opening his dojo. Neighbors described him as solitary, rarely socializing. A former student mentioned Carter's interest in Tera's running schedule, calling it odd. Nguyen interviewed his students, learning he'd canceled classes abruptly on August 15th. His Ford Explorer dark blue matched the tire tracks. Lacking direct evidence, Nguyen couldn't arrest him, but the pieces were aligning. The emotional toll on investigators was immense. Nguyen, a mother herself, saw Tera's face in her sleep. Officer Harper, who took the initial call, felt personally responsible. "We failed her," he confided to a colleague. The team worked 20-hour shifts fueled by coffee and duty. Community support meals, letters, and prayers kept them going. At a vigil, a teammate read Tera's poem from English class, "Run Free, Run Far." The words haunted Nguyen. By August 25th, the investigation honed in on Carter. His Explorer was impounded, revealing mud consistent with the ravine's soil. Fibers in the trunk matched Tera's tank top. Nguyen interrogated Carter again, pressing about his whereabouts. He claimed he was hiking alone, but his story shifted, mentioning a friend he couldn't name. His composure cracked, but he denied involvement. Without a body or confession, Nguyen needed more to charge him, but the net was tightening. On August 28, 1998, James Carter was arrested at his Redding dojo. Police found Tera's running shoe in his Explorer's trunk, its sole matching tracks near the ravine. Fibers and a trace of Tera's blood sealed the link. Carter, 35, was charged with kidnapping and suspected murder. During interrogation, he denied everything, claiming the shoe was planted. His calm demeanor unnerved Detective Nguyen, who noted he's too controlled. The arrest brought relief to Redding, but deepened the Smiths' grief with no sign of Tera. Carter, with a troubled past, a military discharge for conduct issues, and a brief stint in juvenile detention surfaced. Neighbors called him distant, though students praised his teaching. His Explorer, impounded days earlier, yielded damning evidence: Tera's DNA in the trunk and a map of Shasta Park with marked trails. Carter's alibi crumbled when no one confirmed his hiking story. Nguyen suspected he targeted Tera after learning her routine, exploiting her trust as her instructor. The arrest electrified Redding. Media swarmed the dojo, broadcasting Carter's mugshot. The Smiths, overwhelmed, issued a statement: "We pray for justice for Tera." Community reactions mixed relief with anger. Parents questioned the dojo's safety. A vigil drew 1,000 people with candles spelling Tera in the park. Sierra, now speaking minimally, left a note: "I miss you, sis." The town demanded accountability with calls for stricter oversight of community programs like Carter's. Carter's arraignment on August 30th set bail at $1 million. He pleaded not guilty, hiring a private attorney, Laura Evans. Evidence-mounted CCTV from a hardware store showed Carter buying cleaning supplies hours after Tera vanished. His phone records placed him near the park at 6:40 a.m. A student recalled Carter asking about Tera's running routes, raising suspicions of premeditation. Nguyen's team worked tirelessly, knowing a conviction depended on airtight evidence. The trial began in March 1999 in Shasta County Courthouse. Prosecutors, led by DA Robert Klein, charged Carter with kidnapping and first-degree murder, despite no body. They presented the shoe fibers, blood and tire tracks, arguing Carter stalked Tera. Klein's opening was stark. Tera trusted him, and he betrayed her. The courtroom, packed with Tera's family and supporters, was tense. Marilyn wept during testimony, Terry's fists clenched. Sierra, now 13, attended, gripping her mother's hand. Forensic experts confirmed Tera's DNA in Carter's vehicle. A tire expert matched the Explorer's tracks to the ravine. A classmate testified Carter asked Tera to stay late at class, seeming overly attentive. Klein argued Carter used his authority to lure Tera, abducting her during her run. The absence of Tera's body was a hurdle, but Klein emphasized the evidence screams guilt. The community hung on every word, desperate for closure. Carter's defense countered aggressively. Evans claimed the evidence was circumstantial, suggesting police rushed to judgment. She argued the shoe could belong to another runner and questioned the DNA's integrity, citing contamination risks. Carter testified, claiming he was framed by a rival dojo owner. His story faltered under cross-examination, with inconsistencies about his whereabouts. Evans's closing pleaded reasonable doubt, no body, no crime. The jury, visibly torn, deliberated for days. On April 10, 1999, the jury convicted Carter of kidnapping and second-degree murder, citing insufficient evidence for premeditation. He was sentenced to life without parole. Marilyn's statement in court was heart-wrenching. "You stole our daughter's future." Terry added, "Tera deserved better." The verdict brought relief, but no joy. Tera's absence lingered. Carter maintained his innocence, filing an appeal, but it was denied in 2000. Redding exhaled, but the wound remained. The Smiths founded Tera's Track, a foundation promoting runner safety, raising funds for park cameras and self-defense classes. Marilyn became an advocate, speaking at schools. "Tera's spirit drives us." Sierra, inspired by her sister, joined Track, wearing Tera's number. The community installed a memorial bench in Shasta Park, engraved with "Run Free Tera." Vigils continued annually, keeping her memory alive. Schools implemented stricter safety protocols, a bittersweet legacy. The lack of park surveillance and delayed forensic processing sparked reforms. California passed Tera's law, mandating faster DNA analysis in missing persons cases. The case exposed vulnerabilities in community programs, leading to background checks for instructors. Media praised the changes, but criticized initial police delays. Guyon, reflecting years later, said, "We did our best, but Tera deserved more." The reforms aimed to prevent another tragedy, honoring Tera's memory. Tera's legacy endured. Her foundation funded scholarships for young runners, and her story inspired a documentary, Tera's Run, aired in 2002. The Smiths found solace in helping others, though grief remained. Sierra, at 18, spoke at a vigil, "Tera's with me every step." Redding's running community grew stronger, with races dedicated to Tera. Her disappearance, though tragic, sparked change, ensuring her light shone on a testament to a life cut short but never forgotten. If stories like these move, you don't forget to subscribe to Crimes That Linger, where we explore the cases that still haunt the world. From grisly disappearances to long-awaited justice, we bring you true crimes that leave a lasting mark. Hit the bell so you never miss a story.